Yeah! Get up!
What is up, everybody? It is that one guy here, and before we get going on the bike this morning, I wanted to read this question because we're doing another part of the Ask Me Something series, and I wanted to read this question so I got it exactly right. Just so I'm actually quoting the people who send in these questions, and both of these questions are similar, so I'm going to hit them both at the same time. And now I'm not going to be able to look through the screen because I put my gloves on. So these questions come, one from Neek, capital NEEK _, and from Salia. And Neek writes, was there another name for your channel that you considered besides that one guy? Also, Salia writes, how did you come up with the name, that one guy? Okay, so we're going to start the bike and get moving, just so we can get out on the road because it's been a while, because it's been raining. But it didn't rain much yesterday, and it's not supposed to rain much today either, so let's buckle in. All right. All right, we've actually had to charge the battery a couple times. I think I need a new battery. I haven't been riding much, and so, the battery hasn't been getting charged as I ride. So, of course, the last couple times I've had to take it out, I've had to recharge the battery. Anyway, that's all information you don't need to know. Let's get to these questions by Salia and by Neek. First of all, I appreciate you sending in these questions, the two of you. Also, I'd like to encourage any of you, if you have questions that you'd like answered on the Ask Me Something series, send them in via my website at thatoneguymoto.com. You can also send me questions on my Instagram page as well as my Facebook page. I'm also on Twitter. And of course, you can always just leave questions right here in the comments on this video. And that's usually the most frequent place that I get questions is right here on the comments on this video. So let's hop right in and answer these questions. The first question from Neek, which is, was there another name for my channel that I considered besides that one guy? And yes, of course there were other names for the channel that I had in mind, but there were a couple factors that I tried to take into consideration when I chose my channel. I wanted something that wasn't going to be like funny the first time you hear it, and then after a while it's just kind of like annoying or not funny, which is, it's hard to do. And I also wanted something that was just kind of generic. And I say that because, there are, 1,000 motovlogging channels. There are more than thousands and thousands of just typical vlogging channels. And I was like, I'm not gonna find something that sticks out or stands out, because of course if I think of something, someone else will have already thought of it, so I will in no way be the first person. So I was like, you know what, let's just go with it and be really generic. And that's kind of what I did with that one guy. I thought of making my channel's name Generic Channel, and if you know me, you might have an idea why I might use that name. They were also video game inspired channel names that I did consider, because I am a big video game fan, but I'm also a big sports fan. So all of these things that I was taking into consideration, I just kept thinking, I am not just a video game guy, I'm not just a sports guy, I'm not just a motorcycle guy, I'm just that one guy. And so that's what I went with. That was part of the reason why I went with the channel name that I have now and have had since I started, that one guy. But there's also something, and this is more to Salia's question about how did I choose this name, or how did I end up with this name. There's a movie, and it's one of my favorite movies. I won't say of all time, but it's definitely one of my favorite movies right now, and has been for since it came out. And if you haven't seen this movie and you like movies and you like video games, this movie's called Scott Pilgrim versus the World. You know, and this is terrible. I always just call it Scott Pilgrim, and I always forget the actual title, which is terrible, right? Because I just said it was my favorite movie. But it is one of my favorite movies, and the reason it being because they molded this like comic book or graphic novel idea, which it actually was before it became the movie, and then they made it this comic book that was kind of based on video games and comics in general, and they just melded it all so perfectly together. Edgar Wright, the director, is just brilliant. He was also the director of one of my other favorite movies, Baby Driver. Anyway, where this is all going is that that one guy is a quote from the movie. And if you've seen the movie, you know, and if I can, without getting a copyright hit, I'm going to throw in a clip right here.
Ow! It's that one guy.
I won't say that's one of my favorite scenes from the movie, but it's one of my favorite lines from the movie. Just because... Oh, what do we got going on over here? Somebody's in trouble. Takes 2 cops for this guy. I don't know what that guy was doing. Now let's go over here. We never go over here, so why not? I hope this light reads me though. Okay, so one of my favorite lines from the movie, okay? Hey, it's that one guy. And I don't know why, but when I was thinking up things to name my channel, I kept thinking of this line from this movie. And so I finally was just like, you know what? That's really perfect, and I'm going to use that line if I can find the quote from the movie, and it's going to be part of my channel. And sure enough, for the longest time, my intro, all it was this, a friend of mine had a friend of his, or a colleague of his, I don't know, make a cartoon drawing of me, and I really liked it. And so I used it as part of my intro, and that was my intro for a while.
It's that one guy.
And every once in a while I'll throw in that quote from that movie just because I love it. If you hear me mention my name in the video, every once in a while you'll hear me throw in that line from the movie. And it's just one of my favorite movies, and that's why you have the channel name That One Guy. Now, again, like I said, I like sports. I play golf, I play basketball. You know, I love to play football and throw the football around, because, you know, it's kind of hard to play football anymore at this age, or find like a league, because I got so many other things going on. But I like softball and baseball and tennis. I'm kind of average at tennis, but I do enjoy playing with my wife, who's better than I am. I'll be happy to admit that. And oh, look, they got little murals all along this wall. That's kind of cool. Did not know that. My dad actually used to work here. This is the used to be Conadina, and now I believe it's, I don't know what it is anymore. Maybe it's Pacific Coast Producers. Anyway, they can tomatoes. That's where my dad used to work. My ADD kicking in there. But I think that's all the sports I'm fairly proficient in. I'm always up for learning new sports because I just enjoy being active and having fun. And sports is one of those things that does it for me. So when I say that I'm a jack of all trades, or a jack of many trades, because you know, I just like trying new things. I like becoming proficient in new things. That's why I don't necessarily like to read books, but I like to read about you know, topics and things, current events I like to stay up to date on. But I also, if you watch my channel at all, you know that that I'm a community theater actor. So not only do I like to act, but I like to sing and dance, and I like to think that I'm fairly proficient in that. I also teach hip-hop on the weekend, or on Saturdays, and I have a day job, which is I work for the University of California nearby at Davis, and I work in the registrar's office. So yeah, I do a lot of things. Let's just put it that way. I do a lot of things, and right now I'm kind of in a, like, a, you know, this is a real cliche, but I'm living the dream because I like my job. I like who I work with. I like my boss. You know, I love what I do outside of work, which is all of those things that I just mentioned. And again, I also like to make videos and ride motorcycles. So yeah, I also love cars, which, you know, if it was my, you know, if I had all the money in the world, I'd have a huge garage with all my toys, including motorcycles and cars, and I'd have a man cave with you know, with all my setup. Oh yeah, did I mention I like movies? I did say I have a favorite movie, but some people have favorite movies and they're not huge fans of movies. I love movies. And TV. How in the world do I find all this time to do all of these things? That's a question for you, check out this link somewhere up on the top here, where I talk about how I manage to do all of these things in my life, because there are a lot of things that I like to do. Oh, by the way, I have a dog. I have 2 leopard geckos, and we just bought a ball python. All that together, and first and foremost, you know, it's the last thing that I'm going to mention, but this is the first and foremost thing in my life, is I'm married. I have a wife, and I have 2 kids. And I love them all so much. I love my pets, and I love animals. So yeah, tell me something else that I need to love that I don't already love, and I will look into it. And hey, maybe I'll even do a video on it. I mean, we're in the Ask Me Something mode right now on the channel. So if you've got something that you think I need to add to my life, put it in the comments. And if I am partial to one of your suggestions of something that I need to get into, I will pin it, and you will be right at the top of the comments. Congratulations, whoever it was that made the suggestion that I should do. Alright guys, that is all I've got for you today on this Ask Me Something segment. Guys, like I said, if you have any more questions for me, leave it in the comments or hit me up on social media. All of those things are in the links in the description. But guys, this is the part where I ask you to do something that I always ask you to do, and that is like and or subscribe. Guys, this is that one guy. If you're out there riding, be safe. And if you're not riding, get riding. I am that one guy, and I am out.